Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So just a little programming note for next week at exactly this time at 8 o'clock. We will have tickets for My Chemical Romance at Soldier Field the day after the Oasis show at Soldier Field. So all next week at 8 o'clock every day, we will have a song scramble for the real true My Chemical Romance Ride or Dies. And you have to figure it out, and then you get the tickets. So 8 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. My Chemical Romance tickets for the show we just announced at Soldier Field. So make sure you are here for that. Now, let's get to it. We've talked a lot about Apes this week. This will be the last time we talk about them until they're all captured. We will stop talking about it.
It's an ongoing news story.
Absolutely.
And as journalists, which we are first and foremost, we have to follow this story until the end.
That's right. That's right.
I think I should go to South Carolina.
You think we should go there?
Just me. Until all I know what's going on. I'm like, they're not at the Four Seasons. They're not at the Ritz. I'm going to do the hard work. I'm going to look for these movies.
I'm not at Fogo de Chao. I mean, Sean.
Yeah.
They're not there. Sean. Okay, so in order to get a proper perspective on this, in Case's argument that these monkeys should probably be put back in some kind of captivity level, but treated well, the movie Planet of the Apes is exactly this plot. And I, of course, as these movie reviews go along, Case hasn't seen most big movies. Most of our listeners have seen the original Planet of the Apes. There's been several reboots and sequels, but I said he has to start with the Charlton Heston one from 1968. 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. This was a monstrous film. In fact, it was made by the people that did The Twilight Zone, Rod Serling. So it was essentially a movie-length version of maybe the greatest TV show of all time, The Twilight Zone. Here was a trailer back in 1968 for the movie The Planet of the Apes.
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
Charlton Heston discovers a world turned upside down. The world he finds out in the galaxy will challenge every idea you've ever had of civilization. A planet where the superior beings are apes. They build the cities, make the laws, the gods, and control the guns that hunt a race of lowly, terrified humans who run wild in the jungles, are caged in the prisons, and stuffed in the museums. 20th Century Fox transforms the motion picture screen into Planet of the Apes, starring Charlton Heston, Roddy McDowall, Kim Hunter, and Maurice Evans. Planet of the Apes, beyond your wildest dreams.
I love that closer line on there. And before we continue and get your review going here, Teresa checked in from Berwyn and said she saw this movie, like Kenzie just mentioned, as a kid, saw it very young at 7 years old. She wasn't able to go to a zoo until she was 31 after seeing this movie because apes and monkeys scared her so much after seeing it. So thank you for checking in from Berwyn this morning, and I hope you enjoy the Lincoln Park Zoo or the Brookfield Zoo these days. There's a whole zoo conversation to have on this another time. But, Case, what did you think of Planet of the Apes, the 1968 version?
Well, I think I'm with Teresa. I think I'm going to be skipping out on all zoo activities, Christmas lights included for the foreseeable future. There's two terrifying things about this movie. We'll go one at a time through each of them. Mm-hmm. The first one, of course.
Monkeys.
The apes. the apes, if you will. Absolutely terrifying. I have, since Monday, been talking about how we should be fearing for our lives. There should be a shelter in place put in order that we might not see the ramifications of these escaped monkeys in the short term, but in the long term, every citizen in this country is going to feel it. I truly, truly believe that. It's not a good situation. This movie did not calm my nerves.
No.
This movie did not make me feel better about the situation. This movie did not give me hope. This movie was a stark reminder of what is to come because of the situation in South Carolina right now. I was petrified, far more so than any of the horror movies that Kenzie made me watch over the last 6 weeks.
Wow.
This was a horror movie. This was not good, my friends.
Wait,
It was very, very scary.
The apes are so nice in this movie.
No,
Are they? Are they nice in this movie?
I didn't feel like they were that bad.
Huh.
No, you did say this. You saw this as a child, Kenzie.
Yeah, they were just like doing their thing.
Okay.
Running the world.
Is doing their thing, giving a human a lobotomy so he doesn't know who he is and walks around, well, literally not knowing who he is anymore.
Hey, now.
Hey, now what?
You're an all-star. No, kidding. No, but like, you're over here saying like, oh, we should test on monkeys because it's the only way. Well, what if the roles were reversed? It's not so fun, is it? Now they're evil?
So you want to be lobotomized?
No, I don't want to be.
You might need it.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
That's not what I said. Out of everything that came out of my mouth, you said, so you want a lobotomy?
Well, you said they're just doing their thing, I quote you.
Yeah, because
which is taking the brains out of humans.
I am the one saying we shouldn't be treating monkeys like this. So you're the one earning a lobotomy, not me.
I didn't say anything about treating monkeys anyway.
At the worst, I'm going to be getting them their drinks because I said they should be free.
You know what you'll be? You'll be the one they say will keep her alive because she was for us, but then you'll be their servant.
That's what I just said. I'm getting the drinks.
You want to do that?
What, a banana smoothie?
You want to do that the rest of your life?
Do I want to do it the rest of my life? No. But honestly, I have kids, and I do something very similar right now. So I'm prepared.
Your kids are Cornelius from Planet of the Apes.
I'm like, it's not that far off.
I'm glad that you watched this movie, Case, and now you see the horror that could happen. And obviously, there's anything else you want to say about that vibe and not reassuring you, basically.
Here's what everybody needs to remember, and heed my words carefully here. When the monkeys do come for us, and they will at some point, whether it's now the ones from South Carolina or at some point in the near distant future. When the monkeys come for us, they will not be looking for equality. They will be looking for revenge, okay? When the monkeys find us, they will not be looking for harmony in this beautiful, beautiful world. They will be looking to get one over on us and to pulverize us into oblivion. And this is what we saw in Planet of the Apes. As far as I'm concerned, this may as well have been a documentary. This is a sign of what's to come. They were just ahead of the curve.
Well, also, I'll add
We should have been treating monkeys like that.
Yes. You'll be bringing them the banana daiquiris, Kenzie.
I said what I said.
I also see Kenzie like at a monkey restaurant where she's delivering the banana daiquiris, and then she's just taking sips out of it for herself and then passing it off to the monkeys.
A little rum in it?
Yeah.
That's not a bad life, baby. I did that for years.
We could all choose our journey, and you're choosing yours. Now, what did you think? And I guess we can talk about the plot twist. It's one of the top 10 plot twists in movie history at the end, which is, I got to say it to talk about it.
Yeah, no, please, go ahead.
And Kenzie, maybe you don't remember what happened at the end. But
I gotta be honest, I do not.
So Charlton Heston gets to walk off with his human companion, a very, very beautiful woman. I don't know what happened to her in her acting career at that point.
Was that Nova?
Yes.
Yeah, Linda Harrison.
And she didn't speak in the movie at all. She didn't have one speaking role, but she didn't need to. She's a beautiful woman.
My man.
Okay. Enough.
But as Charlton Heston walks down the beach, he all of a sudden goes, "Oh my God, they finally did it. I'm home." And he's looking at the Statue of Liberty on the beach. He thought he was on an alien planet millions of miles from Earth. Turns out he went through some time warp, and he came back to Earth in the future, and a nuclear war happened, and the apes took over when he came back, and all the other humans are dead. And he's talking about that society blew itself up. Finally, it finally happened. Because in 1968, when this movie came out, certainly nuclear war was a big fear.
Yeah. This wasn't a plot twist to me. Of course this happened. Of course this is going to happen. Have you met society?
Yeah.
We're close to this.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Because I don't remember that. So he... I'm not working about.
All right, let's go backwards.
Wait a minute. So he just walked around and saw the Statue of Liberty and went, "Oh my God."
That's exactly right. He went, "Oh my God."
So he didn't think he was on Earth that whole time. Of course,
Right.
it looked like Earth.
It looked like a barren planet. It didn't have buildings or anything.
So how do you think? Where does he think he was going? He's gonna walk into space.
So they were on a spaceship, and
he was an astronaut.
He was an astronaut. The movie starts with them and the spaceship crashes on the planet. You remember that part? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
He was in space like that.
So he didn't know he was on Earth. He thought he was millions of miles from Earth on a crazy planet that was run by apes.
Oh, but it was Earth.
It was Earth because we blew it up with a nuclear war, and the apes rose because they survived the nuclear war better than we could.
That's right. So one of the terrifying things in this movie was the apes. The other terrifying thing, and I want to be sure to mention this real quick, a startling, and I mean a startling, amount of man butt in this movie. Do you remember this, Brian? There's
Yes.
so much man butt in this movie.
Well, how does it feel?
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Oh, here we go. Case, the producer, has reviewed Planet of the Apes in relation to the ape story we've been keeping you updated on. Better than any other outlet, news outlet, anybody in Chicago, of the apes in South Carolina that have escaped. And we've let you know how close they are to Chicago. So far, you're okay. And we will keep you updated as quality journalists in this field as the day goes on.
Hey.
Now, Case reviewed Planet of the Apes. And I kind of, from your review, don't even know if you liked it or didn't like it. So how are you going to rate this movie, Case?
I will be rating this movie out of man asses because this is a movie that is not only full of apes, but it is full of man ass.
A lot.
A lot of man ass.
Yeah.
I will say, in terms of the quality of the movie, I've watched a lot of older movies for this project. Movies from the 70s, movies from the 80s. This one's 1968. This is the first movie that I've watched that really shows its age, not even in terms of like the special effects or anything. It's just a really slow movie. It's weird. Not a ton happens in it. They crash land on the planet, monkeys ride horses, and then for the rest of the movie, they're just walking around. They're walking from one cell to another. They're walking from the cell to the beach. They're walking from the beach to the Statue of Liberty. Not a ton happens in this movie.
So a lot of walking.
It's a lot of walking. It's a big walking movie.
Okay, that's not correct at all, but that's his interpretation, so I can't judge it.
I feel like that's most of what this movie is. It's man ass and people walking. And for that reason, Planet of the Apes, the 1968 version, it gets 5 man asses out of 10 from me.
That's
not very high.
Not very
a lot
high.
of man ass.
No, not a lot of man ass, but that's my prerogative.
Okay. Well, listen, yesterday we had a debate about the monkeys in South Carolina. That's real life, not Planet of the Apes, which led to this review, where Kenzie was fighting for these chimpanzees, these apes, these monkeys that have escaped alpha genesis to be released to a beautiful sanctuary somewhere, maybe Grant Park. Just let them roam around there.
I think they should be, yes, at a sanctuary, safe haven for monkeys, because I understand that they were bred in captivity, so they can't go full-blown, wild.
Right.
I understand that.
But still a more element of freedom than they have now.
Yes.
Then Case argued that these monkeys have been tested on, and even though Case, well, I don't know if he loves monkeys or not. I was going to say he loves animals.
Nah, not really a big monkey guy, though.
Wants them to return to be to the alpha genesis, not for continued testing, just because they've been messed with and they could be dangerous.
I want them to be locked up. I want the key to be thrown away. I want the lights to be shut off. I want to forget about the facility they're in altogether.
What is this, Saw? Why did you turn the lights off?
It helps.
The monkeys go in there and Case goes, "Do you want to play a game?"
That's evil. They did nothing.
I've been reading about Guantanamo Bay a lot recently. I'm just saying, you know.
Well, remember, Judge Brian Haddad makes the decision here. Now, the jury has voted you on our Facebook page, but let's get to the verdict.
You are about to enter the courtroom.
Brian Haddad.
The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is Judge
Brian Haddad. Thank you.
Lord.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. So, as we get the verdict, the jury did vote. The percentage case on that one was for Kenzie's argument, meaning going to some safe sanctuary somewhere, having a good element of freedom, but not completely free, but definitely better than they did in captivity. I don't know what the percentage of the jury was there to my bailiff.
It was about 60-40 in favor of Kenzie.
60-40. Not a huge margin, by the way. Not an overwhelming, understanding, which shows both you made good arguments.
Both you people?
Both you people. I was going to say monkeys, but both you people made good arguments. So I, the judge, will honor the jury's verdict. However, as the judge, I do have some stipulations. I have fears, and I have to protect Chicago. That's my job. That's what I've been voted into in this role.
You're Mr. Chicago.
I certainly have to protect our people, no matter where you live around Chicagoland.
And in doing so, you're going to raise the taxes. Okay.
I'm going to bring a vote to my constituents.
I will say that property taxes have to be raised to afford what I'm about to propose.
Yes.
Kenzie, you have won your debate.
Yay.
However, I think these monkeys need to have ankle bracelets and GoPros on them for 18 months. We have to see what they're plotting. As a listener said yesterday, you cannot trust a resentful monkey. You cannot reason with a monkey. So, Kenzie, in your home in Elgin, we will, no cost to you, supply 4 screens that you must monitor for 18 months with the GoPros that these monkeys have and the ankle bracelets. Now, we understand it's a big job, so your husband, your son, Tristan, who's 10, and 9-month-old Marino can help out with this as much as they can, of monitoring the monkeys, see what they're talking about, and make sure they are remorseful for escaping, and they are okay to be released into society and not harm anybody in Chicagoland.
I'm fine with this because this is how I build my uprising. These are my monkeys now.
Well, court adjourned.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.